Leo's new room was at the very top of the old house, under the sloping roof. It had a tiny window that looked out at the stars and one very interesting corner where a dusty, forgotten toy box sat. The toy box was made of dark, carved wood with a curved lid and brass hinges that had turned green with age. Leo's mom had said he could have it for his own toys, but for now, it sat there heavy and silent, full of secrets. On his first night in the room, Leo was just drifting off to sleep when he heard it, a tiny, rustling sound like dry leaves skittering across pavement. Then came a whisper, so soft he thought he might have imagined it. PSSSD. Leo's eyes flew open. He lay perfectly still, staring at the dark shape of the toy box in the corner. The moonlight made the brass hinges glint like sleepy eyes. The next night, he heard it again. This time, the whisper was clearer. Leo. It seemed to come from inside the toy box. A shiver ran down his spine, but it wasn't a scared shiver. It was a curious one. He had peeked inside earlier and only seen some old, dusty picture books and a few chipped wooden animals. Who could possibly be in there, whispering his name? The third night, Leo decided he was brave enough to investigate. He sat up in bed as the moon rose high and round outside his window. He took a deep breath, slipped out of bed, and tiptoed across the cold floorboards towards the toy box. He knelt down, his nose just inches from the carved wood. Then, from inside, a small, sad voice whispered, "Will you let me out? I've been in here for such a very long time." Without a moment's hesitation, Leo reached out and lifted the heavy lid of the toy box. It creaked open, and a puff of dust rose into the moonlight. Inside, nestled between the faded picture books, was a small, worn teddy bear. He had soft, honey-colored fur that was patchy in places, one button eye that glittered in the light, and the other eye was just a piece of thread where a button used to be. His little red scarf was frayed and faded to pink. "Hello," said the tiny voice, and this time Leo could see the bear's mouth move just a little. "I'm Barnaby. Thank you for letting me out." It was getting very stuffy in there. Leo's eyes went wide as saucers. A talking teddy bear. He had wished for a friend like this his whole life. He gently carried Barnaby back to his bed and sat him on the pillow, careful not to hurt his old, stitched paws. Barnaby looked around the room with his one good button eye. "Things have changed," he said softly. "The last time I was out, there was a little girl with pigtails who would take me on picnics. Her name was Lily, but she grew up, and one day, she put me in the box and forgot to take me out again. That was a very long time ago." Leo felt a pang of sadness for the little bear, understanding how lonely he must have been. "Don't worry, Barnaby," Leo said, his voice full of promise. "I won't forget you. We can have adventures together." Barnaby's button eye seemed to sparkle. "That would be wonderful," he whispered. "But there's one thing. I can only talk at night, when the moon is out and the house is quiet. During the day, I'm just a regular old bear. That's the magic of the toy box, you see." From that night on, Leo and Barnaby became the best of secret friends. Every night, as soon as the moon was high, they would whisper and giggle together. Barnaby told Leo stories about the olden days, about Lily's picnics and the games they used to play. Leo told Barnaby about school, about his dreams of being an astronaut, and about the kids in his new neighborhood he was too shy to talk to. The lonely room didn't feel lonely anymore. One night, Leo had big news. "Barnaby, there's a boy next door named Sam. He has a treehouse and he asked me to come over and play tomorrow. He wants me to bring my favorite toy." Leo looked at Barnaby hopefully. "I want to bring you. But if you can't talk during the day, how will you know what's happening?" Barnaby was quiet for a moment. "I'll still be there, Leo," he said gently. "I'll be right there in your arms, listening. And even though I can't talk back, I'll be your brave bear." The next day, Leo tucked Barnaby under his arm and walked next door. He was nervous, but holding the soft, worn bear gave him courage. Sam was friendly and showed Leo his treehouse. They played spaceships and pirates, and Leo even let Sam hold Barnaby. "He's cool," Sam said. He looks like he's been on lots of adventures. Leo just smiled, knowing a secret that made the day even more special. That night, Leo rushed to his room to find Barnaby looking tired, his button eye a little dull. Leo understood. He carried Barnaby to the toy box, but instead of closing the lid, he propped it open just a crack so moonlight could get in. He placed Barnaby inside on a soft pile of his own pajamas. "This is your special room now," Leo whispered, "and every night I'll come and visit you. You'll never be forgotten again." From inside the toy box, Barnaby's button eye glowed with warm, happy light, and their friendship whispered on, night after night.